Back with another video for you guys. Today we're going to be working on Rob's car, a couple little things, and then we're going to move over to my WRX. Robert got a couple things for his. We'll touch base on that, and then we will move over to the Blob build.
All right, so we were able to get, we went to the junkyard. I scored these OEM side skirts for 12 bucks. They're like almost perfect condition, no paint. They had like a couple like rough edges underneath on the bottom that got squished and scrunched while they were at the junkyard. But for the most part, they're pretty damn perfect. Fitment was a lot better than the other side skirts that I was trying to run. I do have to cut about an inch. Hi, sweetie.
Uno, come.
Go away.
Uno, come.
I have to cut
Sit.
about 2.5 inches off of the back just to get them to fit better with the kit.
I'll show him.
Yeah.
So his kit up front is missing that piece of the fender, obviously from factory. So it moves the skirt back like an inch. Then it pushes it an inch over, inch and a half over in the rear. So he's gonna have to cut that off. But otherwise it should be pretty easy and straightforward.
Yeah, they're pretty much direct bolt-on, one cut. A lot easier than what I was trying to do. That was gonna take a lot more work and really not look as like simple as these. I wanna do like a splitter underneath with like the little winglet in the back and just call it good. This car has like not really had side skirts in its lifetime. And it deserves to get the correct, like OEM spec ones. It's a little touches now with this car, so that's what we're trying to conquer with this. I'm gonna take a break from that. This car has too many damn problems.
Not problems, but different things we want to be addressing. Yeah, so we got valve cover leak on the passenger side, and then as well as I've got a couple things I want to install. I got an exhaust leak on the header, exhaust leak on the downpipe, and then we also have a hanger that's broken off on the exhaust as well that has to get repaired. So we're gonna dive into that and only putting the goods in the good girls.
Yeah, finally upgrading. If you're not running this in your Subaru, you should be. This stuff is amazing. I ran it in my stock 2.0 up until the point where I blew it up, unoil related, and it's being ran in the built motor. Right now it's got the break-in Motul, it's like 1040 or something. It's pretty thick stuff, but I have to run through a couple miles with this build, and then I'll probably be switching over to the 540 Motul. We also, one thing that I figured out in my time at Subaru is running a 2015 plus oil filter gets you WRX, 2015 plus WRX oil filter. They're usually screwed on to the top of WRXs right here on the new FAs. They fit on the bottom of the EJs, and they give you a little bit more oil capacity. And in my opinion, these JDM oil filters are a crap ton better. If you're getting more, anything you can do to do more oil capacity and have a better filter, I would say do. I've been running them on, the WRX, the STI motors, everything like that, and I highly recommend you do it. And I'm pretty sure they're only like 10 bucks from Subaru, so it's definitely a good investment for your motor. Other than that, valve cover gaskets.
And don't skimp on those. If you do your valve covers, OEM parts only, or they'll leak.
Yeah,
we speak from a lot of experience. OEM gaskets, guys. For oil stuff.
OEM exhaust gaskets work good too. I mean, Grimspeed and all the other companies make good gaskets, but I have a crap ton of these from my time working at Subaru, so we're going to utilize them. We have a downpipe.
Torque Solution isolator gasket.
Oh, okay. That's good. And then you want to walk them through.
All right, guys.
All of that.
All right, cool. We'll bring them over to your car. All right, guys. We found this stuff on Amazon, was it? It is wire loom. Comes in 3 different sizes, 15 bucks.
I kind of talked about it, I think, in the last video.
Let's see. Show them just briefly how it works. So it's like a Chinese freaking finger trap toy, if you would, and you just push it back, and then you push the wires through, tighten it around the wire, and then you just shrink tube around the end of it, and that just kind of holds it tight.
So my entire engine bay harness has been done in this. I did this harness, we did all the battery stuff, all the grounds, all of the engine harness that wraps underneath the manifold is done, down to like the coil packs, everything like that, because the old stuff I'll show you on this car.
Harness right there.
That harness is a good example of a harness that's still good. This one is like faded, super hard. Yeah, I mean, brittle as hell. So we're gonna rewrap that harness just because doing this harness is like, this has broken plugs and it needs to go away anyways.
Yeah, and then having that out of the car, once we pull that, we won't have to have downtime of that because we'll already have the wrapped ones. We'll just slap a wrapped one in and then.
And did you show, did they already know about your red beauty that you powder coated? Go get that.
So as you guys saw on Rob's car, back before the swap, we had a lot of red and gold going on. That's kind of been the iconic thing for the car. So we're gonna move some of the red stuff over, but then we're also gonna add red, being like this. It was gold on Rob's car, so it's red here. I'm gonna do my intercooler for my front mount red. And we're gonna just do the red and gold under my hood, but with a little bit different to it.
Yeah.
Different things in different colors.
We have the valve covers.
I think they're over there somewhere.
Somewhere.
They're right there in that tote. I can see.
Oh, yep. My gold valve covers. We're gonna put those on. That manifold is going to replace this crusty manifold. We'll probably take that off and powder coat it either the same color as mine, that red, or we're gonna try something different. We really like the crinkle stuff, so we might do one of those again. But let's get started on, what do you want to do first?
Valve cover.
Well,
change the oil.
yeah, we got to drain the oil.
Yeah.
Drain the oil, and then probably pull the headers because they'll be
Probably should
cool.
make parts to run two or three cans of brake clean.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
But let's get the oil draining.
Yeah, we'll get it draining and then we'll go run to the store.
All right, we'll update you guys once we get a little bit further. We'll show you how crusty the underside of the car is. It'll be cool to see it without headers on it, because then you'll see how bad the valve covers are actually leaking.
It's super bad on that passenger side.
All right, we'll get back to you guys. So,
What's up, guys? So we got the header off. Quite a few oil leaks. We had valve cover. We had some residual oil running across the timing cover. We're gonna keep a close eye on that and watch it. Half of the header was held on by bolts, not studs. Not really sure why. Again, was on there when we got the car. Right now, I'm just gonna work on cleaning up the flanges on both the header and then the up pipe gasket flanges.
All right, so we got one valve cover on. I'll show you guys this side. And the new valve covers that we're gonna throw on. There's the driver's side. pretty clean. Here's the new valve cover. When I say new, it's still a stock one, but these ones were painted gold. Austin's putting this side on right now. They're my old valve covers. I obviously did the black ones, but he's throwing them on right now. We're gonna get them torqued to spec. They'll look real pretty in the engine bay with that red manifold. But yeah, that's the update for now. Got a mess to clean up.
Happens.
All right, last valve cover is about ready to go on. What we always like to do, just to get a little bit more longevity and better sealing, is do a nice little, like, thin surface of RTV around the whole thing. We've had really good results with it. I've had my car RTV'd, and then the people that actually showed me this was Cobb Surgeline in Oregon. When they did my valve covers, they did this, and they literally didn't leak for
7 years
until the motor blew up. They didn't even leak. So this side's already done. Everything's torqued down. He's got the half moons in the back. We cleaned up all the mating surfaces, got whatever RTV was on there off, and we're almost ready for this guy. This is the not fun cover, so I might have to put this down and hold some stuff for him, but that's a good little trick to know. After that, we'll get those ugly headers back on with all the mating surfaces cleaned up, and we'll see what else we can conquer. A bolt. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put this down and help. How's it going, everybody? It is about a week later. We are getting to like the second part of the Blobeye right now. We were able to get the valve covers and the exhaust gaskets done last time, but we kind of just had other things that we wanted to get to that day, so we didn't finish the last part.
And it was cold this week.
Well, and I also didn't have the harness wrapped, but over the week I was able to get his harness wrapped for him, and we're gonna be doing the red manifold that's over here, as well as painting some smaller stuff like the throttle body, and then like little pieces black to go with the manifold that I have black. So if you see on my car, I did this in black because it's raw and it rusts, and then I also did this in the high temp black as well, just because it's a little bit cleaner. It kind of just blends a lot better than having all the corrosive looking stuff.
Big bitches off.
So we'll be doing that today. Shouldn't take us too long. I don't think it's that big of a project. Probably the wiring harness will take the longest part, but that's just because we're going to be tucking a lot of stuff and cleaning all the anything up that we can in the engine bay. But we will keep you guys updated with these beautiful parts. Doing a little rough mock-up right now. We got the old harness out. That's how the new manifold's gonna look with the gold. We got to take the manifold back off because we're going to be switching around some fuel system stuff with my old fuel system from my car. Just to kind of, it gets rid of some of these lines that he's not using anyways, and it just looks a lot better. But yeah, I just wanted to set the manifold on there and see how pretty that red is, especially with the gold. That looks so cool. Here's where we're at now. New manifolds on, painted his throttle body in that piece, got his harness on, it's all wrapped and pretty.
Don't think this makes a difference.
New throttle cable, and then tucked the harness the best that we could. It used to come up over this, and we tucked it underneath. We were able to hide a lot of
Ugly.
Yeah, a lot of the ugly plugs, but switched his grounds around. We're deleting the upper reservoir, so it'll just feed the turbo straight off of there rather than having a bunch of shit on top. It's just gonna be a nice manifold like mine. We just wanted to simplify a lot of this crap because it's just like, it was just everywhere. The only thing left to really make everything nice and pretty is those same Grimspeed covers on there. It's been a long day, but well worth it. This manifold looks amazing. I'm glad that we went with red. We want to get rid of the blue. The whole theme has kind of just been, you know, red accents, and that blue kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, but
that's all I've got.
Yeah.
For now.
We were able to simplify his fuel system as well. It had 3 lines, but he went to mine. So we did that. Cleaned up underneath the manifold because it was just like wires and a bunch of hard lines and stuff like that that didn't need to be there. But once we get it completely back together, I'll show you what everything looks like. Well, it's the next day. Austin, would you like to explain the amount of fuckery that ensued last night?
All right, so as you guys know, we wrapped and loomed the harness on the whole engine side.
And it looks...
We went over the whole
beautiful
harness, and to our knowledge, we had every plug matching from harness to harness. We don't know what car the harness that's in my car now came from. So we visually compared them and legit missed one plug on the whole harness. And that plug is for the PCV bypass that goes down here that not anyone in the world cares about. But what was happening is I was getting a check engine light because it's missing this stupid jumper in this plug. So I depinned that old harness all the way back to the main plug. It's just a grounded jumper. We didn't know, so I chased it.
That whole harness, which was originally
in the car.
in here, but we swapped out for a harness that was pre-wrapped.
So what I did is I unpinned it from that harness, I put it in here, grounded it, check engine light gone. Now we're here just grounding that stupid pin.
So we took that pin out, added it to this harness, because that's all it was missing was a single wire that goes all the way over to there. So he stuck that pin into that, which in turn connected to the rest of the car. It wasn't there. And now, magically, no more check engine light. Car runs perfectly fine, but it was like consistent check engine lights. Yeah, the MAF. We had a MAF problem where some solder problems kind of ensued, but as soon as he redid all of the solder on the MAF, because we shortened it, we think that somebody lengthened it.
Oh, I know somebody, because there was two solder joints. They had like 16 inches of wire. I think somebody had a cold air intake, and it was down in the wheel well, so they had to make the wire longer, so they made it longer, but then I don't have that, so...
Yeah, so he cut like 18 inches off of that just to kind of clean up all the wiring, because on this side, there was just like a bundle of wires that were just kind of like very out in the open, so we were able to clean up that side, and then tuck all the wires back that he wasn't using, have it just hook up really easily right there with the actual engine harness. So now this side is just nice, clean, no ABS, nothing right here except for the filter. But same with this side. This side we'll have to do some more looming stuff to kind of clean up wires down there. But obviously when we started having a problem last night, everything stopped because we didn't know what the problem was. And it literally, we figured it out as his lady was here to pick him up to leave. So he took that whole harness home with him, traced the wire all the way back, depinned it. And then today, as soon as we plugged everything in and hooked it all up, it was fixed.
No more codes. No more codes. Where's the ring terminal? Oh, ring terminal?
Up on the magical shelf that has everything that we need. So we are going to be adding some grounds. One thing that can help, I don't know if it's a 2-liter problem or just a Subaru problem, or just a car problem in general, because I've heard of other performance cars having this issue, is adding grounds from the engine to the chassis. Sometimes you can have some grounding issues, especially when you're adding like powder coated pieces to where the car's not getting a proper ground. So a good thing to do is just add a couple grounds from either the battery to the engine or the chassis to the engine. It can just help with, you know, like either like a draw from the ground that could screw with your headlights or anything, you know, injector pulse. Adding grounds definitely helps because you should always have enough power coming off the alternator from the battery to everything, but it can't always get a proper ground. We've also added, if you drive a Veloster and you watch my videos, I hate you. Anyways, goodbye.
It's in the front and rear bumper now too.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, just a tip. If you're doing this kind of stuff and you're adding things and you're trying to do wire tucks and anything like that, adding grounds helps a ton. Worth the little extra time. Luckily, we have a bunch of spare black wire, so we'll be adding grounds. But
we should drop them a link too for this loom stuff, so they can get it.
Yeah, literally, if you just look up wire loom on Amazon, it's just this stuff. It comes in like a giant bag of different sizes, and each bag is 50 feet. It was literally like $20. He ended up accidentally buying 2, so we have a ton of extra. So we're just like doing everything. Like if you look over on my car,
tons over there.
Yeah, I've done as much wire loom as I possibly could. Like the starter wire loom, you know, even my throttle cable on both cars, just because I thought it was ugly. I put the wire loom on it, cleaned up everything a ton, all the way down there. And it's nice because, like, when you do see the wire, it's not just like that ugly loom anymore. It's like it has its purpose now. So one thing to do if you want to clean up your engine bay, we obviously wanted to do it on this. The grand idea with this car is to have it, you know, on the same degree of cleanliness in the engine bay and on the exterior, to just have a nice contender with my car and be able to roll out and do shows and just have a pretty car. Obviously, we want to do the fenders and the bumper, the valve covers and cleaning up the engine and everything. Or before that, now we're going to try to work on maybe getting the front end and everything cleaned up too, because this car obviously is boosting the potential of, you know, cleanliness. So we want everything to match. It's kind of cool now because it's just like a sleeper, and then you open the engine bay and it's super clean. So I know this is probably getting to the point of being a long video. Obviously, we've done this over like what, a 4-day period now, 3-day period, something like that. But 4. Trying to bring you guys as much content as I possibly can. This car's been really cool. Obviously, if you've been watching or have gone back and watched, you know, this car from being a bare shell to a running and driving, you know, car, we've done a ton of stuff to this thing. So I appreciate all of you guys watching. If you like this video, drop me a like. Any closing remarks there, Austin?
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
We will keep you guys
More coming
updated.
for sure.
Thanks again. Peace.